Meanwhile, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a new batch of documents today that they say further connects President Trump to Epstein. Lawmakers obtained an email that Epstein appears to have sent to his longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell in 2011, and it reads, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him." The White House says Virginia refers to Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide in April. Democrats had redacted her name, but Republicans later released an unredacted version. President Trump socialized with Epstein in the 90s and early 2000s, but the president says he cut ties with him before Epstein's arrest in 2006. Trump has never been formally accused or charged of any wrongdoing in connection with Epstein. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. Scott, what are we to make of these new documents?
Lindsay, let's think of the numbers here. There were roughly 23,000 pages of records released today. Picture in your mind's eye 23,000 pages of anything and how you navigate your way through that. So some of this is a process that's still unraveling. Things are getting released on something of a rolling basis. The House Democrats were eager to provide a cheat sheet for folks and show a few excerpts they had found in their initial review of the documents, including those excerpts you referenced, the 2011 email from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, his co-conspirator, in which he says that Trump spent hours at the Epstein home, including with an underage victim who has now been connected to be Virginia Giuffre. But also in a 2019 email to an author, Epstein wrote that Trump, quote, of course knew about the girls, as he'd asked Ghislaine to stop. These were underscored by the Democrats on this panel. Republicans on the House Oversight Committee, who helped issue the subpoenas to the Epstein estate that yielded these records, accused Democrats of cherry picking and selective choices in the releases. But we're still going through them. No doubt congressional investigators are still going through them. And there may be more questions for this White House to answer as this week progresses.
What can you tell us about Virginia Giuffre and what this email refers to?
Yeah, she died by suicide earlier this year. She had been a forceful advocate for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, a vocal advocate at a time when there were a few that were out there lending voice to this. This exchange in 2011 about Virginia Giuffre, according to the White House, was redacted in what the Democrats released earlier today, and Republicans have accused Democrats of redacting selectively. Democrats have argued they redacted to protect the name of a sex crimes victim. That's going to be a whole aside, though, Lindsay. They're going to battle over that for some time to come. But all of this unequivocally raises the profile and the specter of this Epstein controversy, just as Democrats secured a final signature to force a vote on the full release of the Epstein files.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you. Let's go now to CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. So, Aaron, how is President Trump responding to these new documents?
Lindsay, President Trump wrote on Truth Social that congressional Democrats are bringing this story up to, quote, deflect on how badly they've done on the government shutdown. He then added about Republicans, saying that there should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and that the Republicans in Congress should only be focused on the reopening of the government. He then added that, quote, only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. This could be in reference to the 4 House Republicans who have said they support that measure in the House to force a full vote on releasing more Epstein-related files. We know that behind the scenes, White House officials met with one of them, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado, who said she was at the White House and thanked the White House for the transparency. But if that meeting was to attempt to change her mind on signing that discharge petition, it didn't seem to work, as Boebert is keeping her signature in that petition as of now. And just to add the reaction more from the White House on the substance of the emails that suggested that President Trump at least knew more than what he has said he knew about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said during her briefing that the emails, quote, prove absolutely nothing other than that Trump did nothing wrong.
Let's turn back to the House. Lawmakers nearing that vote to end the longest government shutdown in history. What does the White House make of the funding bill? How soon is the president expected to sign it once passed?
Yeah, they've been eager to sign it and reopen the government. On the funding bill itself, Karoline Leavitt was asked about how that bill does bring back 6,000 federal employees who were fired by the White House Budget Office during the government shutdown. She essentially said that the administration could live with that concession and that Trump's priority was to reopen the government and get people back to work. She then added that that number is just a small fraction of the total number of federal employees fired by this White House during the Trump administration. As far far as the signing, Caroline and the White House officials say they expect it to happen as soon as that bill hits President Trump's desk after the House begins to vote on it in an hour or so.
Aaron Navarro, thank you.